a few of you are here. So good day. Welcome to the STEM Lockdown Digital School. My name is Kadla Homatibe. I'll be presenting the grade 10 life sciences lesson to you guys. So guys, I've been asking you to use my email address at ls.wisnet@gmail.com if you want more information or if you're confused or need help with anything relating to life sciences. So I see some of you are using it and I'm glad I could help. Don't be scared. Just ask for anything at all and I'll help you guys. So now, as you know, this week we have been doing revision on term 2 stuff, and today we are ending with cell division and cancer. So there's the end of our term 2 content. Now guys, just a quick reminder, we are going to have a study break, and the study break will be from, it was supposed to be from the 10th to the 16th of June, but it will be from Monday, the 8th of June to the 16th of June. And then from the 17th to the 19th, we're going to do some revision and then start off with our online assessments, your exams. Okay, so the study break is from the 8th to the 16th of June. So during that time, you guys are more than welcome to communicate with us using the platforms we gave you. So you can use my email address if you want help, or while studying you find something confusing you, it will still be fine. I do not mind you guys contacting me during the study break. Okay, so for today's lesson we are focusing on the cell division and cancer questions, and at the end of this lesson I want you guys to be able to answer questions on this topic in tests or exams. So you guys should be able to answer questions on cell division and cancer. Now I gave you guys a homework yesterday, so let us quickly answer the 3 questions that we have. Remember, we focused on cells, so plants and animal cells yesterday, so we revised on that and saw some questions from previous past papers on cells. And this also is a question from one of the past papers that I have for grade 10 from the Gauteng Circuit. So let us attempt answering these. So examine the diagram below of a cell and answer the questions that follow. So 1.4.1, or number 1, identify whether the above diagram represents a plant or an animal cell. So what is this? So Musa says this is an animal cell. And also Letabo. All right, so change your chat settings to everyone so that everyone in the meeting can see your responses. So change from privately to everyone. So they're all saying it's an animal cell. So this is an animal cell. Okay, so it doesn't send to everyone. No, but you guys can chat with everyone publicly. It does. So on the 2, click the downward arrow and you'll see names, participant names, and then everyone is at the top. Click on that, everyone in meeting. If it still doesn't want you guys, oh, there we go. Aaron got it. So all of you are saying this is an animal cell. So give 2 observable reasons for your answer. So what can you see from the diagram that tells you that this is an animal cell? So guys, this in a test or an exam is just free marks because you guys did this in grade 8, grade 9, grade 10. It has an irregular shape and has no cell wall. So the cell wall is absent and it has an irregular shape. It's all right, Ray. We are marking yesterday's homework. It doesn't have a chloroplast. So those are some of the 2 observable reasons. Yes, it does not have a cell wall. So draw and label the structure of an organelle marked A in the diagram. So what is this organelle marked A? Remember when you're drawing, you should provide a caption. What is that organelle marked A in the diagram? It is the mitochondria. And what does it have? What do we find, or how is the structure of the mitochondria? So it has projections. What are those projections called? Or what labels can you give when drawing it? All right, so it has the cristae. That is one label. What is another label that you guys can think of? Or another label that you guys can have? The liquid inside the mitochondria, what do we call that liquid? The matrix. And one last label. Double membrane. So it has an inner membrane and an outer membrane. And also ribosomes. Great stuff. So that is an animal cell. It has many mitochondria. It has no cell wall. So if you mention an irregular shape, it's also a mark. So this is the structure of a mitochondria. There will be a caption. And then if you show the matrix, the cristae, which are the projections of the infold, the inner membrane, and the outer membrane. You get 3 marks for all those labels. Remember when labeling or when drawing, when asked to draw a structure of something, your label should be on the right-hand side using straight lines, no errors, and your lines shouldn't crisscross each other. Okay, they shouldn't cross each other. And your diagram should be big. Should be big. All right. So thanks for the responses. These are the solutions. All right, so moving on to today's topic, cells and cell division and cancer. Sorry about that. So we're doing cell division and cancer. Let's answer some multiple choice questions on cell division and cancer. So the type of cell division which is responsible for growth and repair of body cells is A, cell division, B, DNA replication, C, meiosis, or D, mitosis. All right, so most of you are saying D. So mitosis is cell division responsible for growth and repair of body cells. So the answer is D. You guys are correct. And then number 2, the part that joins two or D, spindle fibers. So guys, my connectivity is bad. Please be patient. If Zoom decides to kick me out, I will quickly get back in. So Lita was saying B for centromere. Ngosipila says D. What did the rest of you guys say? What is the part that joins two chromatids together? The part that we find in the middle of chromosome. Aaron says B. And the answer is B. So the part that joins two chromatids together to form a chromosome is a centromere. Spindle fibers connect two chromosomes on that part. So they connect to chromosomes by their centromeres. And spindle fibers are from the centrioles. So they connect to chromosomes by the centromeres. Number 3, the cell organelle found in animal cells only during mitosis is A, centrioles, B, centromere, C, cristae, or D, the nucleus. Which cell organelle is found only in animal cells during mitosis? Only in animal cells. Cell organelle found in animal cells only during mitosis. Aaron says D, letter B. So which cell organelle is found only in animal cells from all those 4 options? That is what the question is saying. And that particular cell organelle is used or takes part during mitosis. So plants and animal cells have nucleuses. So nucleus is not the answer. Centromere, that is the part found or that joins two chromatids together. And chromosomes are found in both plant and animal cells. So B is not the answer. The answer is not C. The cristae is found in mitochondria and it is found in both plants and animal cells. So the answer is A, centrioles. Remember when we were looking at the animal cell? Of which the spindle fibers and plant cells do not have centrioles, and therefore so centrioles are present in animal cells during mitosis and in animal cells, sorry about that. Centrioles are present in animal cells during mitosis, and in plant cells, we do not see centrioles because spindle fibers form directly on the cytoplasm. So go through your notes again. Right, so if a cell divides by mitosis, how many cells will there be after 3 divisions? So if a cell, meaning cells will be there. A cells, C cells. Aaron says B, let's have A. Musa B. Pila says B. And also Ray says B. So if a cell, so one cell divides cells. Two. Therefore, we'll have 4 at the end of round 2. And at the end of round 3, we are going to have, if we have 4 in round 2, we're going to have 2 for one cell, 2 for another cell, which is 4, 2 for the third cell, 6, and 2 for the fourth cell, 8 at the end of round 3. So the answer is C. One cell gives us 2. So first division, we will have 2 cells. After the second division, the 2 cells will also multiply by 2, giving us 4. After the third division, 4 multiplied by 2, we will get 8. So what you do is for first round, to see how many cells you have after the first round, you say 1 cell multiplied by 2, that is for the first round, you get 2 cells. Those 2 cells multiplied by 2, that is the second round or second division, you'll get 4 cells. 4 cells multiplied by 2, you get 8 cells. That is the third division. So I hope that helps. Remember, each cell produces two cells, two identical cells. So you multiply everything by 2. The answer is C, 8 cells. Do you get that? Okay. Now moving on. Give the correct biological term for each of the following descriptions. Number 1, the cell cycle phase during which DNA replication occurs is. What is the cell cycle phase during which DNA replication occurs? Cell cycle phase. A phase during the cell cycle during which DNA replication occurs. So you are saying it's mitosis. Aaron says interphase. Yes, so guys, this is to show you that you should read questions carefully. So read question, read again, and read for the last time to see if you understand it, and underline the keywords. So cell cycle phase, you underline phase, during which DNA replication occurs. You also underline DNA replication, and then you start thinking, what phase is that? Where DNA only have one answer from Aaron. So the answer is interphase. So during interphase, the cell grows and DNA replication occurs. Then after this interphase, we have the mitotic phase where, you know, the mitotic phase has 4 broad phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. All right, so Aaron is giving us number 3, the tumor or growth that forms as a result of uncontrolled mitosis. He's saying it's cancer. And what is number 2? What are outgrowths that are attached to the centromere of chromosomes during anaphase? I gave you guys that answer. Let us say spindle fibers. So spindle fibers it is. Those are outgrowths that are attached to the centromere of chromosomes during anaphase. And the tumor growth that forms as a result of uncontrolled cell division is cancer. So you guys are correct. Now indicate whether each of the statements in column 1 applies to A only, B only, both A and B, or none of the items in column 2. So in column 1, we have 1.3.1, which says the stage of the cell cycle when the cell performs its normal functions is A, interphase, B, cytokinesis. Is it A only, B only, both A and B, or none of those options? Or number 2, a tumor that is cancerous is a benign tumor or a malignant tumor. Is it A only, B only, both A and B, or none? So what is the answer for number 1, 1.3.1? And what is the answer for 1.3.2? All right, so Aaron is saying none for number 1. Letabo says 2 is both. So a tumor that is cancerous is a benign and a malignant tumor. All right, so for number 1, the stage of the cell cycle where when the cell performs its normal functions is interphase. So that is when the cell grows, nothing disappears, DNA replicates as normal. That is interphase. And number 2, a tumor that is cancerous is the malignant tumor. So a benign tumor is non-cancerous, but it can be cancerous. So examples of benign tumors are fibroids. We talked about fibroids. Or a fibroadenoma. Talked about fibroids. All right, so mark yourselves so that we move on. Yep. All right, so the following diagram shows a plant cell at the beginning of cell division. Number 1.4.1, provide labels for parts A, B, C, and D. What is part A? All right, so these are not aligned properly. Part A is supposed to be that way, and B, this part B. Okay, C and D. So provide labels for those parts. Okay, so part A, that is the centriole. Let's have a saying it is the centriole. P, let's say spindle fiber. Aaron, centriole. Let's have a B is the spindle fiber. All right, so A is the centriole. B is the spindle fiber. What is C and what is D? So D is the dot. C is a chromatid. And D, there is a dot there. What is the dot? So these are the spindle fibers, the dotted lines. And this dot here centromere. So I'll tell you guys something that this question has as a mistake. So it reads that this diagram shows a plant cell. Okay, so read this statement here. I thought you guys were going to point it out. It says the following diagram shows a plant cell at the beginning of cell division. It says plant cell. But then there's a centriole. So you see this is wrong. This statement is wrong. So the question paper which I took this question in was wrong. It's supposed to be animal cell. So these are the types of mistakes you guys will find in your test papers where we as teachers didn't see that coming. We moderated the question paper and everything, but then we couldn't see this tiny mistake. And even happens in metric papers when you guys are writing your metric exams. So this was a mistake. It's supposed to be an animal cell because animal cells have centrioles. They made a mistake. So you guys should read carefully. Okay. So part A is the centriole, B spindle fibers or spindle fiber, C chromatid, and D centromere. So how many chromosomes are shown in the diagram above? So you guys are saying 8. Four. How many chromosomes are shown in the diagram above? If I say 7. All right, so let me give you the answer. It's 8. So Letabo, I know when I repeated the question and I said chromosomes answer. So we have 8 chromosomes. Remember during anaphase, as the chromatids are pulled apart, they are then called sister chromosomes. So these are sister chromosomes because they are now pulled apart towards opposite poles. Pulled apart towards poles, so they are now called sister chromosomes. So you are right by saying 8. But if it was during metaphase, answer. But now anaphase, chromatids are now sister chromosomes, and we have 8 of these. Cells at the end of cell division of the above cell. So how many chromosomes will we find in each of the daughter cells? So it means initially we had 4 from the parent cell. For each, Pila says 2. Letabo says for each. Remember, this is anaphase. So after anaphase, we're going to have telophase, where a nuclear membrane will reform around. So how many around the poles. So how many sister chromosomes will we have in each daughter cell? Remember, we're going to have 2 cells. So how many chromosomes in each cell? All right, so Aaron is asking if they separate, are they still called chromosomes? Okay, so when chromosomes separate, so metaphase, we have chromosomes at the center, right? So during anaphase, they separate like this into chromatids. And once they are at the poles, they are then called sister chromosomes. Okay, so these chromatids are then called sister chromosomes. But before, initially, they were chromosomes. During anaphase, the chromatids are pulled apart and they are then called sister chromosomes. So the keyword there is sister. So they are then called sister chromosomes. They are no longer chromatids. So I don't know if that answers you. So the answer is 4. So from this cell, it shows that during metaphase, we had 4 chromosomes at the equator, and then spindle fibers pulled apart the chromatids. Hence, we have 4 chromatids on each pole, and these chromatids are now called sister chromosomes. So at the end of cell division, for this cell, we are going to have 4 chromosomes or sister chromosomes in each daughter cell. So you just divide here, a cell plate will form, or the cytoplasm will constrict. So this will divide the 2 cells. Then we'll have 4, 4. So meaning that initially the parent cell had 4 chromosomes. So that means that after mitosis or after this cell division, we're going to have 4 chromosomes in each daughter cell because the parent cell had 4. So chromosome number in cell division stays the same. So the parent cell, if it has 2 chromosomes, at the end of cell division, each daughter cell will have 2 chromosomes. So it doesn't change, it stays the same. So 1.4.4, explain 2 ways in which mitosis is biologically significant. The importance of mitosis or the function. Explain 2 ways in which mitosis is biologically significant. So the importance of this, what is the importance of mitosis? Cell division, it helps maintain the same number of chromosomes in daughter cells after cell division. Yes, but mitosis is important for growth, repair, and for reproduction. But it also maintains that, Aaron. You are not wrong, you are correct. But these are the roles of mitosis. Okay. growth, repair, or reproduction? So number 2, read the following extract and answer the questions that follow. So, cancer, mitosis gone wrong. Colorectal cancer, also called colon cancer or large bowel cancer, includes cancerous growths, all right, so Aaron is asking, does it maintain the proper size of an organism? Not really. So the size of an organism depends on other factors which might affect this division. So not really. So this type of cancer includes cancerous growths in the colon, rectum, and appendix. With 655,000 deaths worldwide per year, it is the third most common form of cancer and the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the Western world. These mushroom-shaped growths are usually benign, but some may develop into cancer over time. So as you see, benign is non-cancerous tumors, but may develop into cancer over time. And the majority of the time, the diagnosis of localized colon cancer is through a colonoscopy. So therapy is usually through surgery, which in many cases is followed by chemotherapy. So guys, we have like 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left for the lesson. So you guys can take pictures of this case study or extract. And there are questions, you can take pictures of that. So the question says, explain the statement that cancer is mitosis gone wrong. That is the topic of this extract, or the heading rather. Cancer, mitosis gone wrong. Explain that statement, mitosis gone wrong. Number 2, what is meant by the term benign? What do we mean by the term benign? Number 3, some cancer sufferers do not want to undergo chemotherapy. State whether you would advise a cancer sufferer to undergo chemotherapy and provide a reason for your answer. Would you advise a cancer sufferer to undergo chemotherapy, and why would you do that? Yes or no? If no, why wouldn't you advise them? If yes, why would you advise them? So these are the questions. You can take a screenshot of that. So if you guys have a WhatsApp group, you guys can share that on your WhatsApp group. And these are the answers. So mitosis gone wrong refers to the cells that do not differentiate. They simply continue dividing in an uncontrolled manner, or the process of mitosis continues without cells becoming specialized. So that is how you can explain the term mitosis gone wrong. And by benign, we are referring to non-cancerous tumors or growths that do not metastasize. So they do not spread around the body. They are found in their original sites. Would you advise a cancer sufferer to go for chemotherapy? Yes. So as chemotherapy involves using chemicals that destroy cancer cells directly. The reason for you advising them to go for chemotherapy is that chemotherapy involves the use of chemicals that destroy cancer cells directly. So these are the solutions for that question. You can also take a picture. And this was supposed to be your homework. Yes, last question is optional. So if you know the disadvantages of chemotherapy, you might say no. and state the disadvantages of that therapy. But as you know, everything has an advantage and disadvantage. So last question, yes, it's optional, Aaron. So I only gave an answer for yes. Okay, so this is your homework. The following diagram shows a plant cell at the beginning of cell division. So this is a plant cell. As you can see, there's a cell wall. So provide labels for parts numbered 1 and 3. Study the function of number 4. Oh, supply. Sorry, guys. Supply the function of number 4. State 2 reasons why the above cell division is important in living organisms. And number 4, draw a label diagram of the phase that follows the above on the diagram. So this is your homework. You guys will provide answers in our extra class tomorrow or next week. Okay, so guys, some of the references I used are question papers from the DBE website and the Health and Secular past papers. And in our next lesson, so after the study break, we are going to do Kahoot exercises on Term 1 work. Term 1 stuff. So guys, Term 1 stuff is what you did at school. We're going to do Kahoot activities on those. Thanks for tuning in, guys, on the STEM Lockdown Digital School Grade 10 Life Sciences lesson. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, the rest of your study break. Stay safe. If you need help, do reach out. Follow us on all social media platforms. Goodbye, guys. Thank you.